Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check fresh release from ICM. It is modded in 1/35 scale, it is called as a Battle of Marne in 1914. So you can actually see on the box art what will be replicated with this kit. So it's a taxi car with French infantry. In 1/35 scale it might be an interesting build idea. So we have a commercial sample, it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video. And we will open this box and check what is hidden inside. So first of all, box size is standard for ICM. Here you can see comparison with my hand. Then on this side we have some information about the kit, and I can say that there are 94 parts for assembly of the car. I can zoom in a bit more so that you can see it as well. And then on the opposite side we can see marking guide for the same vehicle as on the box art. So I mean, of course you are not limited with this marking option only, but manufacturers suggest it as one of the main options. Box structure is typical, so we have color printed top lid and sturdy white cardboard box. And if we open it, here is what we have inside. So as you can see, all plastic frames are packed into the same plastic bag, but we have two plastic bags because we have also figures, and then we have assembly manual on the bottom. Obviously we will check assembly manual a bit later. We are going to start with first plastic bag, which was dedicated to figurine parts, and we will take a look in a second. So first of all we have separate plastic sprue with various armament. So let's zoom in a bit. Now you should be able to see it. Obviously all of these items won't be used straight away in the same project, so some of them will stay for your next builds, and that's really cool because actually you get some spare parts which will be handy in different builds. Next we go on with plastic sprue, which is dedicated to various figure parts. So those are typical 1/35 scale figures from ICM. It means we have separate legs, torso, hands and heads. Also here, for example, really nice molding ideas with, for example, hand, which is molded together with flag. Also we have various equipment items molded separately. It means caps and maybe some hands as well. And of course you saw the accessories sprue just few seconds before, so it might be really endless ideas possible to replicate with those guys. Next we go on with another plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to vehicle parts, so we are going to open it and check what we actually get here. Frankly speaking, there are not that many parts, but let's not forget that this is a 1/35 scale car, so that's why there is no need in supplying really huge amount of parts. Okay, so first of all here we have the largest frame. This one is dedicated to various body parts. Here, for example, you can see one piece bonnet. Also here we have the main chassis bars, some parts for the engine and drivetrain. Here we have exhaust, and everything looks completely fine. I do not see any possible issue even with thinnest parts, so it should be relatively easy to assemble as long as you are ready to deal with thin elements. Next we go on with another plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to wheel rims. So let's zoom in. Now you should be able to see it. So these are separate plastic parts. They will have to be combined with vinyl tires, obviously. But again, molding quality seems to be fine, so I do not see any possible issue with those elements. Next we go on with separate plastic bag, which is dedicated to vinyl tires. There are 5 of them. I will show you only pair because obviously these are identical parts. So what we have here is really simple vinyl tires, and they look fine for out of the box build. And of course, if you would like to get something different, you will have to search for some aftermarket, and I really doubt that you will find something because that's not such a, I would say, widespread kit, and resin wheels will be really difficult to find. Next I'm opening another plastic bag. This one is dedicated to clear parts, so we also get here the clear elements. On small vehicle it should look quite impressive, but you have to get the masks to cut them with your own hands, because otherwise you will end up with unmasked parts and really ugly paintwork. Next we have the final gray plastic sprue, which is dedicated to various body panels. So those are molded just like this. And of course we have separate doors, which is really cool. It might be useful for some diorama ideas, especially considering that we have some figures included out of the box. You can use it for your own project. And here you can see those parts from the opposite side. Okay. And next we have assembly manual, which is a bit tight fit in this box. But first of all, ICM traditionally included decals in the assembly manual, so here it is, really tiny decal sheet, but here we have different number plates for several marking options, so I guess it will be useful. And then we have assembly manual, so this one is typical for ICM. Let's zoom out even more, now we should be able to see it. So color printed brochure, quite big one. On the first page we have short history note, then next we go on with parts map here. We also have two separate manuals for the accessories and figures, which is really cool. I mean, if you flip them over, here you can see the marking guide and assembly manual for those things. Next we continue with assembly process of the vehicle, which starts with the main chassis. Then we assemble the body panels together, so be careful while combining them together, get the right alignment, it will be a bit tricky. Now next we continue with wheel axles. Here we assemble the engine and drivetrain. Next we continue with the firewall for the engine bay, and also, as you remember, we have the one-piece bonnet panel, which is really cool, but I mean, I do not recommend to glue it into the place, because this way you will be able to show what is hidden inside. Here we install doors. Again, I remind that they're open, can be opened on the vehicle, even though here it is not shown. And I would rather use this feature for own profit, let's say. Next we continue with various internal elements such as seats, and here we have front wall for the passenger compartment. Next we continue with various, those are leaf springs which should be installed on the rear wheel axle, and this is quite interesting assembly process which we will have to repeat, so be careful and pay attention, because otherwise it won't be possible to get these parts into the right spot. The same goes on for the rear side. And then we continue with exhaust tube. Here we install the tail light. Next we continue with rear wheel axle together with this drive shaft. Next we assemble the wheels. So these wheels I would rather recommend to get them ready in the last turn, because I mean there is no need to get them ready as soon as you are building the vehicle. Here we install the protection shield from the bottom. Next we continue with various handles. This is a starter handle as far as I understand. Steering wheel goes on here with pedals and also the control levers. Here we install the seat for the rear side. That's a spare tire which will be installed on the side. Here you can see it. And what is next? Next we continue with parts for the folding roof. As you can see, it will be assembled in the closed version, so it might be a good base for some painting, let's say, experiments. I'm a bit confused because you have to install those thin parts as well. They replicate the frame of the roof, so be careful while assembling all those thin parts together. It might be a bit tricky to do. Next we continue with separate panels of the roof. As you remember, this part had the pushrod marks inside, so if you are eager to get even more realistic appearance, I would recommend to fill them in. It's not such a difficult task, but it is tedious. I mean, we can all agree on this, so it will be your decision whether you would like to get the perfect shape or you would like to leave with what is offered out of the box. In total it means 52 steps to do just for the vehicle. I remind that we also have figures, and here we have marking guide for the rear vehicle, but obviously nobody limits you only with red color. You can choose something different if you would like to, and still it will be an interesting scene in 1/35 scale. So in total, all in all, we have the figures and car in one kit. Also, it's really cool to see the accessories included. So if you would like to build a small diorama in World War I era, it might be a good option. Of course, you can get this kit in Modelimex website, and I will be happy to hear your opinion here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!